We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. Our ceremonial sauce comes courtesy of Roger Dams of Burn Your Tongue, cleverly not so hidden in the Quilted Bear in the Newgate Mall in Ogden, Utah. We raise our flames to Roger. The hallowed shelves of Burn Your Tongue now hold over 700 sauces, making Burn Your Tongue one of the largest sauce purveyors anywhere. If you're a chili head, you must make the pilgrimage. You can also find Roger on Facebook at the link in the description below. And what this is Ben sauce. Chipotle. And it's a 8-ounce bottle here. I like this old typeface font. This is cool. Hey you, are you feeling saucy? So there's some suggestions here. Put it in a Bloody Mary. If I drank those, I probably would like that. Drench your drunchies? What the hell is a drunchie? Am I reading that right? What is is that like a Oregon thing? Drunchies. What's I don't know what a drunchie is. But the sauce loves me, and it's time for the sauce to come home and meet my family. That seems really unlikely. So this is coming out of Bend, Oregon. And here are the makers, the Reinhard persons, and this is apparently a recyclable bottle. This is very, very hard. I don't like this bottle. Let me just say that right now. Look, this thing is look at this. It's punchy. This thing is a strong bottle. This is overly strong for this sauce. This needs to be something. As I said in the written review, it's available down in the description below. This needs to be like the Yellowbirds or like those soft plastics that we see in picnics. You know, the ketchup and mustard picnic bottles. Nice and soft, nice and soft. All right, so what is in this is water, organic chipotle peppers. We have vinegar, agave, Pacific sea salt, and then there's Tilly cherry peppers. We have organic garlic granules and organic spices. So really what the main flavors here are is, of course, chipotle and the sweetness and the vinegar. I mean, it doesn't taste like agave. Vinegar just adds astringency, but that's not... I don't know what vinegar it is, but it doesn't seem to impart any flavor. Although it's hard to say. So if we look at this, I'm holding this completely upside down, as you can see. And here, see, if you tap it a little bit, you can get a drop by drop. But so you really have to squeeze this out to squirt it. And I said it's almost more of a paste. It's a little bit runnier than that. I mean, it's definitely smoothed out. But you can see, look, it's not leveling out. It's staying kind of clumped together. So this is a very, very thick sauce. I almost, I mean, either it's a really loose sort of paste or it's a thick sauce. Do I dare to turn it over? I mean, I kind of can. I don't know. Nah. I'm a little worried about that. I don't want it on my table. But you can see it smoothing out. It sticks okay. It sticks okay to the spoon that doesn't like things to be stuck to it, but you can see it is very thick, very chunky, and so I mean, it will add a lot of body to stuff. That is for sure. You put this in Bloody Mary, you're going to have some body to your Bloody Mary. No question about that. I think it would work great in barbecue sauce, and almost all the applications that, like I said, I see online are about stuff like barbecuing. Chipotle adds that nice bit of smoke, which you definitely want, especially if you're me in your barbecue type stuff. But Chipotle to me is a little bit, it's sort of a demonic, I guess, in a way, ingredient where I like jalapenos, but a little of it I think goes a long way. Now, what I see most sauce makers doing is saying, oh, well, he said a little goes a long way, and then they're putting too little in it. I mean, you have to be judicious with this, but Chipotle can be a little bit one note, and it can get bitter in a hurry with all that smoke, as of course smoke is prone to do. So, but I think they managed to sidestep that pretty well here. So, all right, let's get on with it. Very little heat here, almost none. It is a little bit of a spike to it. Very, very brief flash. The smoke reminds me. So when I was a kid, I stayed with my uncle for a while, and he had a wood burning furnace in his basement. So we would have to, every fall, we'd have to go and chop a bunch of trees and split them and, all that kind of stuff. But the smoke from that area of the basement really reminds me of this sauce. Like, this sauce just transported me back there, just with the smell of. So whatever smoke that there was being used on this, and I don't know if they're smoking them themselves. It doesn't really indicate that. I'm assuming that they quite possibly are, but I don't know. But so that's kind of interesting, just that same sort of wood thing, just kind of that little callback. I wasn't eating a lot of hot, spicy food back then because that was in Minnesota, and there just was not a lot of it available in that particular area. I mean, there's more so now, but back then it was, like maybe very slightly nacho cheese or jalapeno or something. I mean, on chips or whatever. There really wasn't a thing until it started to come on later, more towards the 90s. But, okay. So, I think it's an okay tasting sauce. It's the Chipotle is not super, super, super heavy, but it is, you get the sweet, you get the vinegar, and then you get the Chipotle flavor. And, like, those are very forceful notes. They're very prominent notes. But they're all kind of single. There's not a lot of subtlety to the sauce. That's why, when it says less than 2% telecherries and garlic, neither of those things, to me, are reading particularly strongly here. You could say there's maybe a trace of garlic, but less than 2% going up against, particularly, garlic granules are pretty strong, but going up against Chipotle is a hammer, man. I mean, that's a very, very strong flavor. So to me, it doesn't read particularly as anything other than, like a sweet, somewhat astringent Chipotle. So here I've got a Del Taco combination burrito, and clearly I got it a while ago. It took me a little bit back to get back to the old filming location here, but that's all right. So we're just. I don't. So here's my issue with this. I'm not going to get 100% of the sauce out of this bottle. Just like it is. You got to have some grip strength to actually use this, and so I think, I think in a lot of ways they limit the potential people, somewhat of the audience that might be a candidate for this, just because you get it, and then the first thing you're doing is fighting it. That's why you don't see honey in stiff plastic like this. So the label looks really good. Label looks good. My recommendation to them if the people at Bend Sauce happen to be paying attention here. A, put the word hot sauce on your bottle. B, get a different bottle that is not such stiff plastic. So those two things. I mean, the sauce itself, they're pretty happy with the formula. So, you know, that I would say there's no point in changing it around. But this one I think works better with stuff. So on this Del Taco combination burrito, we have their red sauce. And their red sauce is a pretty solid red sauce, you know, for fast food anyway. It's a nice base because it adds a little bit, but not altogether that much. So it is really good here. Now, the one problem I have with this sauce is when you put it on stuff, it does this, right? It just stays in this puddle. It doesn't flow. It doesn't cover other stuff. You really have to mix it in. And that frustrates me a bit because that's why I called it a paste. You get away from what sauces are supposed to do. How they're supposed to act. Flavor-wise, it is so weird. And this is a me thing. But it just keeps taking me back to that time. And in a lot of ways, it wasn't a very pleasant time, but I always liked that smell. The wood burning of furnaces. It's just kind of weird to have that going on here. Obviously, I chose, you know, a Mexican-y type food for Chipotle. Does that think burp? You know, you really get, this is almost a little bit denser mole almost type sauce. Except a very simplistic one because it does not have any sort of complexity of flavors. Like moles, you'll see a lot of times, you know, they'll have, not all of them, but, you know, sometimes you'll see up to 20 different ingredients. And just this huge collection of different flavors to, you know, notes and grace notes and stuff. This one doesn't really have that. But, so, mixed in with stuff, it is much better. By itself, you know, I don't think I dig it by itself. I don't, nothing wrong with this. Not bad or anything. It just, it shines better with other stuff. How about that? We'll put it diplomatically. It is a sauce that shines more so when you use it in connection with other stuff. So that's why I think it'd be just, if this is still around by the time by the time late spring 2022 gets around, and I have almost every reason to think it will be, I definitely am going to be dropping this in some barbecue sauce. I'll probably try it by itself on the grill solo. I try to give every advantage I can to sauces, even, I mean, especially the ones I like, but even the ones I don't like. And then we have some of these that are kind of in the middle, where I'm just neutral. I'm just neutral with it by itself. I do like it with other stuff, but you know, it's really competitive. Shelf space in my fridge is super competitive right now. But with this one, I don't know how much more I'm going to be using it between now and that late spring. So I probably will try it, with maybe some Mexican type dishes because I think it does well there. If I do happen to have barbecue sauce for any reason, I don't usually keep it unless I'm grilling. I will, of course, add that in there and kind of see how that goes. And I think it'll be great. It does not have a bad flavor. It just, like I said, it's just a little bit bare bones for me, I think, by itself. So, but anyway, definitely if you like Chipotle more than me, this is a sauce well worth looking into. No question about it. So, but there you have it. The Ben hot sauce, Chipotle. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.